Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Albion Obsessed podcast. We join you on the back of an international break. We haven't had Brighton of Albion for 2 weeks. Some might say that's a good thing because no stress. Some might say it's a bad thing because we just want club football. We don't care about Thomas Tuchel's business well, I do, but I don't know if anybody else does. Anyway, let's see who we've got on the show. Today, we welcome back our friend, Curtis Friend. How are you?
I'm groovy, babes. Yeah, happy to be here. Looking forward to talking about a very big game tomorrow and everything in between.
Exactly that. Huge game. The chance for another Wembley trip. Andrew, how are you feeling, my friend?
Yeah, I'm really good, dude. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm very excited for tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute belter of a game, and let's just hope it's we come out the right end of it.
Exactly that. I mean, I was on a Nottingham Forest podcast in the week, and I said that 7 seems to be the number. They beat us 7-0. We then have been unbeaten for 7 games. So who is going to be the team to end that?
Can we put 7 past them? That'd be nice.
It would be nice. I mean, revenge is best cold served. Words can't word Curtis. I'm just shit at this podcasting thing. Let's talk about first of all the international break, Curtis, because there was a very, very exciting moment that Brighton and Hove Albion now have at their football club a Brazilian number 9. Following in the footsteps of course, the great R9 and many other great Brazilian strikers. How incredible is it, Curtis, to see João Pedro pull on that shirt and be given that sort of, relay baton as such?
Yeah, I mean it's huge. Ow! I just elbowed my door there. Ow! It's huge. I mean I'm sure it's a massive moment for him. I know he didn't have the best game when he did play, but I think just the fact that he was given that, I think that would that's probably going to be, just to say, a massive moment for him, and hopefully he can carry those good feelings over to the game tomorrow. So, but immensely proud of him. Yeah, it's just adding to a good season for him, I think.
Definitely. Andrew, he's a player that runs hot and cold sometimes, but seems to have the knack of turning up when his team need him the most. Do you look at João Pedro being obviously the key to hopefully getting a result tomorrow, and obviously coming off the back of a Brazil national squad call up as well?
He's a special player, isn't he? I know everybody else in the squad are special players, but I think he's able to pull something out of the game when we are really, really needing it. And for him to play for his country as well is just a big plus for him. And I hope bigger and better things come for him with his country, and definitely for our club, because he's a player to watch, and he's really, really special when he's on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. So certainly got magic moments in his boots. Obviously, the Marseille goal sticks out as the biggest moment of João Pedro, just knowing that he is him and just putting it in the back of the net with just audacity that he should not have had. We'll be hoping for that tomorrow for sure. Curtis, another international sort of point I wanted to bring up was. First of all, obviously, a gutting way for Netherlands to go out of the Nations League, but Bart Verbruggen obviously starting both games, Jean-Paul Van Hecker as well. They're really starting to become like the mainstays for the Netherlands. And what do you think that does for our profile, and can we sort of keep hold of them if they're being regular starters for the Netherlands?
Again, I think it's a feather in our cap, really, that we're getting these players to a point where they are being chosen for their national teams. That's a huge moment for any player, I think. And they're performing really, really well. I thought Van Heck looked better than Van Dijk, most of the time in the last couple of games. So and Viva also got some minutes as well for the Netherlands. So yeah, I mean, I just think that it just shows the stock of players that we have, that we have so many players going out to represent their countries. So I think it's very good for us.
No, exactly that. And a couple of other bits I just wanted to highlight as well. Carlos Baleba was on the Cameroonian sort of media as to being the Carlos Baleba that we know he is, and having a great time on the sidelines when he was given the moments to. And of course, Yankuba Minter also put the ball in the back of the net for another Gambia goal as well. So a really positive international break, and that everybody coming back fully fit as well. Touch wood that nothing happens overnight. We did receive the great news that Karu Matoma will be available for tomorrow. Andrew, how massive is that in our chances of getting to Wembley again?
I think having not just Karu Matoma back, but obviously having all the players back that have been on international duty, having them come back and be as fit as they can be, because they've had a busy schedule. We're going to need every single player to step up the mark and be at their best to be able to overcome this Forest side tomorrow, because they are a quality side and they've got some real talent within their squad.
Yeah, we definitely saw that at the beginning of February for sure. One comment that we've got in the chat already from Tom saying Chris Wood is out for Nottingham Forest. Of course, scored a hat trick against us at the City Ground a couple of months ago, or a month ago. So Curtis, that's a big boost mentally, surely.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, to take anyone out of that team who's been putting a lot in the goal, I think it is very good for us. But they're also they have a lot of very dangerous players, so we can't underestimate the fact that they're still just as good without Chris Wood. So we have to be on top of everything, I feel like we say this a lot through the season, but this is like one of those season-defining games, So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, season-defining, Andrew. Do you think if we go out tomorrow that it will still be seen as a really good run in the FA Cup? Do you think it would depend on our league position at the end of it, or do you think that getting to Wembley would be the definition of a successful season?
No, I think we're onto something special, to be perfectly honest. It's like Kirsten has said, tomorrow is a big game. We all know it is. Whatever happens tomorrow, if we come out the right side of that, we're in the semis. Regardless of what we do in the league, we will be in the semis, and we will go to Wembley. With the league itself, we have a very, very good chance of getting a lot further this season and possibly getting into Europe. And I think if we can keep the players fit, keep them in the best condition possible, we stand, we're going to be looking at the end of the season in a very, very good position. It's very hard to say where we're going to be right now, but we're not far adrift. We're not far away from being, there's not many points between us at the moment in the Premier League for that top half. So come the end of the season, we could be right in the mix of that, and let's just hope we are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this season in the Premier League for one has been really strange, but also if you look at the quarterfinals of the FA Cup as well, Curtis, it's Man City really that are the giants, and I personally believe Bournemouth, especially at home, could knock them out. I mean, Bournemouth have been excellent this season. So if they go out, I think only Aston Villa and maybe Nottingham Forest have already won the FA Cup already. So it's going to go to someone who hasn't won it for a bloody long time, or it's going to go to a completely new winner. I don't know if you was watching those Newcastle celebrations a couple of weeks ago with complete and utter envy.
Oh,
but could we? Could we, Curtis?
I mean, listen, I don't want to say right here, right now, like we're winning the cup, because I don't want to, jinx us. But why not? Honestly, why not? We have a great set of players, arguably one of our best 11 in a long time. And I know we tend to say that in the last few seasons, but the stock that we have, how well they've been playing, I put us up against anyone, and I fancy us most games. Especially with the recent run, of 7 undefeated and everything. I honestly, why the hell not? Why can't we win the whole thing?
Yeah. And the other thing that gets me really excited as well, Curtis, is the fact that we came up with Newcastle in that same season, and they've just won a trophy. I know, obviously, the backing financially that they've got, and in terms of stature as a club, and historically, that that they have a little bit more than what we do. But
we did also knock them out of this cup.
Exactly. So, Andrew, I mean, looking at those Newcastle celebrations, and obviously the fact that we've beaten them twice at St James's Park this season, we have it in us to go all the way, don't we?
Oh, I have total belief in this club, one way or the other, and it doesn't matter what anybody says to me outside of the club when I'm, just going about my daily business. I'm Brighton through and through, no matter what happens, and I wear the club colours day in, day out, apart from when I'm at work, and it's like, I'm excited, and tomorrow's game really does hype it up for me, and we're at home, we're in front of our own fans, and the atmosphere is just going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, I really hope so. It's making me want to scream at everybody that goes tomorrow. Sheffield Wednesday. Bring that energy. That same energy that we had against Sheffield Wednesday in the playoffs. I know we lost that game.
Chelsea at home when Potter left. That atmosphere.
That was ridiculously good.
There's so much to play for, and people who say they don't care about the 7-0, you do care about the 7-0. Bring the energy, bring all the fire. We have to make it loud. We have to make it intimidating. Let's do it.
Let's do it. They are the words, the fighting words from Curtis Friend. I will send it to Fabian Hertzler to play tomorrow. Let's do it. I mean, talking of the FA Cup, it gets me all giddy because I do love the competition. It's brought us so many incredible moments over the last few seasons, and historically, when you watch it and you see the underdog stories, etc. So, Andrew, I'll come to you first, mate. What has been your favourite Albion moment in the FA Cup?
Oh wow, that's the problem. It's I think going to Wembley, playing Man United, and it's kind of I think going to Wembley just itself is it's a wonderful place to be, and it's kind of when you take your club there, it makes it even more. It makes you proud, if not prouder, that they've actually got that far, and it doesn't matter who they play, what you want to come out on the right end of the result, but just being able to take the club to that massive stadium is everybody's dream, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely spot on. Obviously, over the last couple of visits to Wembley, Curtis, we haven't seen Brighton score a goal except for in a penalty shootout. So obviously, if we get there, that would be the main goal, just to see us score and hear that eruption from the fans. But you were nodding along as Andrew was talking about the Man United game. Was that your favourite moment of the FA Cup?
I mean, that was the first FA Cup thing I've experienced live. So, I mean, it's the first time I've ever been to Wembley. So it's just sort of like that day was a whole lot of feeling. Because that game happened. I was excited. We played the game. We lost in the way that we did. It sucked, obviously, but I felt immense pride. And then I lost my bus to get home, and I had a panic attack. So it was just a day. So, but yeah, I mean, That definitely is one I think about all the time. Definitely all the time. But that's not my favourite, and I have a really specific memory. Right? Solly March's 2019 last-minute equaliser against Millwall.
Yeah,
The free
Yes.
kick. I love that.
that was a moment for sure. I think as well, as much as he gets memed, as much as he gets spoken about, but Jurgen Locardia's importance, that spin and finish from him as well, is just delightful to watch. And that
I
game,
won't hear a bad thing about Jurgen Locardia. He loves the club. He
he's-
still talks about us all the time and all that. So he has my respect.
exactly that. And that game for me was such a FA Cup tie, wasn't it? It was pissing it down with rain at the start. Millwall found themselves 2-0 up. We were in a relegation dogfight in the Premier League anyway, so it felt a little bit like, oh, this is not going to go our way. And then the way Solly March equalised and winning on penalties. I mean, I think for me, aside from the obvious stuff, one of the best moments for me is that Karen Matoma last-minute goal against Liverpool. That was my first ever time sat up in the gods in the West Stand upper. I felt like I was going to fall down the stairs when I was celebrating. But yeah, that just, and then us doing it a couple of weeks later again against Liverpool with Danny Welbeck doing it instead, just compiled the misery. So yeah, we've had some moments in the FA Cup, some incredible moments, and let's hope and pray that tomorrow is another, because it could go all the way to penalties again. It's going to go to extra time. If it's a draw, it's going to be absolutely awful to watch. But we're going to get there. I hope. Let's also talk about the prospect, Andrew, that if Crystal Palace somehow beat Fulham tomorrow and we somehow beat Nottingham Forest, there could be a potential Brighton versus Crystal Palace semi-final or final at Wembley Stadium. How would you feel? I'm going to semi-final out the way. How would you feel about a Brighton versus Crystal Palace FA Cup final?
Oh, that would be something special, wouldn't it? That would be that's a dream that would be in the back of the mind if things go our way, and you never know. You can never. There's nothing out there that could say it could never happen, but you just never know. And it's kind of, it's all about tomorrow. If tomorrow goes our way, like I've said, we could potentially set up something with whichever club gets through and do something. We've just got to be, we've got to be ourselves. We've got to play our game, and we've got to basically be on top of our game, and cut out any mistakes. There's going to be mistakes in the game. We've got to make sure that they're not damaging ones, and we've just got to, every time the team do something, get behind them. We're all behind them. We're at the end of the day, we're the 12th person. So, because I'm sure, I'm damn well sure that Nottingham Forest fans will get behind their team one way or the other, and yeah, the atmosphere is going to be fantastic. So yeah, let's go for it.
Exactly that. I mean, I think Nottingham Forest are getting a bigger allocation as well, because it's the FA Cup. I think they have to get like 15 or 20% of the allocation, so they're going to be louder. So it is up to us to bring the noise. Don't forget as well, viewers and listeners, you are watching us live today. So if you do want to drop any thoughts or comments, please do so, and we will get to them as we go. Brian saying, "Good morning from Australia, boys. Can't wait for tonight's game." Well, yeah, I guess it's tonight for you. So weird. Brian from the future. There you go. But yeah, drop your comments in and we'll react as we go on. Curtis, I mean, what the biggest sticking point for people in that 7-0 loss was one player in midfield. Now we've got Carlos Baleba back. We've got Matt O'Reilly hopefully returning. We've got Diego Gomez, Mats Vifa, Jack Hinshelwood. It's a big headache for Hertzler, right?
Yeah, but a good one. At the same time, imagine having all that great quality, at your feet, and not being able to figure out where to who to start. So, but like you said, we're going to look so different than how we did the last time we played them, and we're going to hopefully be ready. And we won't have one midfielder this time. Yeah, I'm just excited at this point. Yeah, I've been quite nervous about it all day, but I am quite excited about it now. I just want to get it. I just want to get there.
Yeah. You get to a point where you're just like, just play the game, boys. I just can't take it anymore. And Curtis, you messaged it about like midday, I think, and you was like, "Can we pod tonight? I really want to talk about it."
Yeah, because no, I feel it's necessary because I wanted to say stuff, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to say or in what order I wanted to say it, but I just wanted to get it out.
But here we are saying stuff. So say stuff in the comments because we will react to your questions as we go on. Colby says, Tariq Lamptey out for the foreseeable future. Do you reckon it could be adios from him as the contract is still not been extended? Andrew, what is your take on the Tariq Lamptey situation?
He's got an injury, and as we all know, so he's out. He's. I don't think it's the end of him. I think he will come back. I think he will come back stronger. He's had these injuries in the past. Obviously, we don't know what the injury is, whether it's a new one or an existing old one. So we won't know as fans because the club never released that type of thing. And when he comes back, we've just got to support him in the best way possible, like we've done when he's come back before. So no, I don't think he's going. I don't think he will leave us. I think he will stay with us. But the club know what they're doing, and the club will be there for him. And it will only be him that turns around and says he wants to do something else. But the club won't do it because the club want him there. So, and that's been quite obvious for a long time. So yeah, just wish him well and speedy recovery.
Yeah. Andrew, do you think it's worth us extending that contract? Do you think he's got enough to give, even though that there's these injuries?
He's a player that always gives 100% on the pitch. Regardless of how he plays, he always tries to give 100%. And I think any player deserves the contracts. He's got the right team behind him. Fabian clearly kind of, he wants him at the club. So why not? Why not give him another contract and keep him there, even if it's for another season? Get him back from injury and keep him playing.
Yeah, I think you've probably just sold it to me, Andrew, because I'm so flip-floppy with Tariq Lamptey, Curtis, because he comes into form. He's absolutely incredible for us. Can play left back, right in the field if we need him to. And when he's on his game, when he's fit, he's absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the best fullback options we've ever had, might I say. And these injuries just make me think, is it worth it? But I think it is worth maybe giving him one more year. Do you think, and just seeing how it plays out?
I'm one of Tariq's biggest fans, man. I love that guy. I think on his day he's unplayable, and I think up until his injury he was in like such good form. He was playing some spectacular football. But unfortunately, it gets to the point with Tariq where he has his performance of the season and his ankles go, nah, not today. So yeah, I'd absolutely agree with what Andrew was saying. I don't think we should. But ultimately it depends on what he says. But I'd like to at least sign him up for another year and just see how that plays out because I think he's got a lot to give, and especially if we're going towards some European football potentially, we need as many players as we can. So.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think part of the thought process of him and the club will obviously be the fact that Ferdi Kadioglu will hopefully come back at the latter stages of this season and have a full preseason behind him. And it remains to be seen, obviously, what's going to happen with Pervis Stupinian as well. A lot of fans are maybe thinking that it might be time for him to move on. But I again think as much as Pervis is clumsy sometimes and gives away stupid fouls, penalties, that he is, when he's again fully fit, is an absolute excellent option for us. So, and it's been one of those areas as well that we've always been like, we need more, we need more, we need more, and now we're suddenly talking about who's going to leave that position, and it's like, no, we need to keep them because we need more. So, and obviously Jack Hinshaw can play there as well. So, yeah, it'll be
We've also
very.
got Veltman coming back at some point too. So
Yeah, and he announced on some Dutch media that he was going to be staying with us as well and extending his contract, which is obviously fantastic news. Let's talk about Joel Veltman actually, because I love that bloke. I absolutely love him. He is seagull through and through, Andrew. And that was confirmed when he saved the seagull from his chimney. And it was just the most Joel Veltman thing to do. I mean, obviously, he's not been in the side much. I think he's got his own injury issues as well. But just how good of a servant has Joel Veltman been for us, Andrew?
Well, he's been wonderful, hasn't he? He's been absolutely wonderful. He knows, he loves this club like everybody knows he does. And, you know, when he's playing, he provides a lot of service, and you can see that in his play. And he likes to be able to get himself, he likes to be able to get into positions and stuff, and try and open the play up a little bit, and try and, you know, and put, you know, just do what he physically can as a player for this team, and be able to create, even if it's small situations, you know, just even for the front men to run into. He's there, and it's kind of, you know, they play together as a unit, and it's kind of, you know, really special to see it. And yeah, it's just, you know, as you say, he's recovering from an injury at the moment, but yeah, there's he's Brighton through and through, and he's you know, we want him to stay. He's going to stay, and he's going to be a part of this club, and he's going to, you know, hopefully he'll see out his career with this club.
Yeah, exactly that. That would be the dream for Joel to you know, maybe even stay on. We seem to be doing these coaching pathways for players, and I love the fact that, you know, they can stay. Obviously, James Milner probably going down that route as well. The experienced heads in the dressing room obviously are always so important to talk about and to have around, especially when you've got such incredible youngsters coming through. Talking of youngsters, Curtis, we signed a certain young South Korean winger, Do Young. Another really exciting moment for the club, and hopefully, and I imagine the thought is that we do a South Korea pre-season tour in a few seasons. What do you reckon?
another winger, get in. Can't go wrong with another winger. But yeah, he looks really exciting. A really exciting young prospect. Obviously he's going to have to go out on loan, because I think he has to earn like points for his visa or something, right? Isn't that how it works? I don't know.
Most likely.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I think it's going to be exciting to watch his progress whilst he's out on loan. Yeah, definitely one to watch.
Yeah. Another bit of transfer news that sort of filtered through over the last 24 hours was that Bayern Munich were looking at making a bid for Bart Verbruggen, and that he is valued at £60 million. It's made known by the club that we don't really make those values of our players public, so I don't know where people are getting that from. But the good news is that one of the top German reporters for Sky Sports Germany has come out and said that reports of Bart Verbruggen going to Bayern Munich are wide of the mark. So that's good news for us, isn't it, Andrew, to keep our shot stopper? And how long do you think it will take him to be ready for a move like that?
Well, to be honest, you don't really want him. You don't really want him going anywhere. That's the whole point of, you know, giving players long contracts, and you know, he's our, you know, he's our number one. He's a wonderful shot stopper. You know, at the end of the day, he's coming to our club because he wants to play for us. You know, regardless of what the outside world are saying, which they don't listen to anyway. And yeah, it's just kind of, I think it's just an awful lot of like I say, talk from the outside. Inside the club, they don't even hear it, and then they just, he will start tomorrow with a clear head, and he will be there to do what he absolutely needs to do, and that's to stop Forest from scoring.
And hopefully, if there's any penalties that are against him, they're as easy as what Lamine Yamal made it for him and just chip it into his arms. So fingers crossed for that. I don't know if my brain can even fathom a penalty shootout, considering what has happened in the past.
We don't need that.
So let's not talk about that. We win in 90 minutes. No problem.
Absolutely.
Let's think about score prediction for the game then, guys. Curtis, are you feeling in your waters a Brighton and Hove Albion win?
I feel like there will be a winner in the game, yes. Oof, blimey. 2-1. 2-1. It will be a 2-1 victory.
Just because we need to bulk out the episode, can I have some goal scorers, please?
Oh, probably the strikers for both teams. I would, if I'm being honest, I think Rutter and someone a bit left field, Gomez.
Oh, a first Gomez goal for Brighton.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer. It feels like something's coming. And for them,
not Chris Wood.
Taiwo Awani, I think that's his name, right?
Oh yeah, they're filling for Chris Wood.
Yeah, I can potentially see him knocking something in, but I think we win. My head and my heart are just like win. So yeah, why not? Yeah.
Brian has just put in the chat Solly March for the winner. That would heal a few wounds for sure. I mean, a question I've got for you, Andrew, before I come to you for a score prediction, is hypothetically, right? We get to the FA Cup final. You can choose one player from our squad that scores a 98th minute winner. Who are you picking?
Oh, now that's a big call. That's.
And I don't want any. Oh, I don't mind who scored. I don't mind if it comes off their arse.
No.
Who does Andrew want to win us a trophy?
I think the one person I think I would want to win would be Danny Welbeck. Because I think he's he got us past Newcastle. He's banged some goals in that have really, really won us the game. I know we've got other strikers, but Danny seems to kind of come up with the goods when it's absolutely necessary. And he doesn't have to do a great deal to get it either. So, yeah, Danny Welbeck for me.
All right, Curtis, I'm going to come to you for the question.
I was waiting for this. Picture this.
All right,
97th minute. We're against the Kosh. It's raining. Corner, right? We just won a corner. Dunk rises above everyone. Buries it into the bottom corner. Give me that. On toast. I'd want that, please.
Oh, why did I ask this question? It's just dreams that I just can't have, isn't it? Oh, man. For me...
but we have to get past Nottingham first. So.
Yeah. I know. But it's nice to dream. It's nice to think about it. Brian, I think for me, you're on the money with what you said. Solly March, if he does anything to progress us in this FA Cup, it would heal so many wounds. And hypothetically, if I could choose anyone to score the winner, it would be a Solly March penalty. I know he probably wouldn't get the chance to take the penalty, but it would be a Solly March penalty. I would love it. Just as much as I would absolutely love if England ever got to a World Cup final for Saka to score the winning penalty, considering how much shit he got.
But let's be honest, you'd prefer Brighton won the FA Cup.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't stop talking about it for the rest of my life and beyond. So, yeah, it would be great. I mean, we're at 35 minutes. We've spoken.
Did you ask Andrew his score
I
prediction?
haven't got your score prediction yet, Andrew. What is your score prediction?
It's like, yeah, there's gonna be goals in this, and it's kind of, yeah, I'm gonna go 3-2 Brighton,
I
and
like it.
yeah, and I can, yeah, it's because you know that they could potentially score. If we keep them out, we're doing a brilliant job.
Oh, yeah.
But we know what Forest are like, you know, because we've been on the bad end of it. So yeah, 3-2, and I think the goal scorers are going to be. I think Matoma's going to get one. I reckon Jorginho might get one, and I reckon Pedro might get one as well. So
I will take that every single day of the week. Michael,
Joe,
in the
what
chat,
about you though? I'm interested.
don't tell you, no, nobody wants to know about me. Let me just go to Michael in the chat first. Carlos Baliba from 30 yards into the top corner is his dream goal. That would be bloody lovely. And he reckons that the Albion win 8-0 tomorrow. So there you go, Michael. I want what you are taking. So send me some in the post. I will DM you my address. Me, Curtis. What do I think? I think it's going to be an absolute FA Cup classic, and people will be watching this game back for years. I think it's going to be 4-3 to the Albion after 120 minutes. I think it's going to go all the way to extra
Watch
time.
it go 120 minutes 0-0.
Yeah. And then lose on penalties. I don't want it to do that, but I feel it might. I don't want it to do that because we're playing Aston Villa a few days later.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be great for the legs. I hope Preston take Aston Villa to extra time over the weekend. That would be nice. In terms of goal scorers, I've said we're going to score 4, so just bear with me. Jan-Paul Van Hecke gets one, I reckon. Another one. I loved your shout of Diego Gomez. Curtis, you know how much of a Diego Gomez fan I am. So I reckon he gets one. And I'm going to go for a João Pedro brace. He's going to turn up and he is going to be the man to ultimately win us the game. That is my fortune. That is what I am foretelling for tomorrow. So put your bets on it and then don't at me if it loses, because
I think this is a complete sellout as well, Joe, isn't it? I think it's a complete sellout. I don't think there's a single ticket left to be brought.
It is. My friend from Spain unfortunately had his hotel in Edinburgh cancelled over the weekend, and he was messaging me saying, I'm traveling down to Brighton, please tell me there's some tickets left. I sent him a screenshot of sold out, unfortunately. So shout out to Geordie for attempting to make this fixture. But yeah, unfortunately it is sold out. I want to give a shout out as well to Geordie's friend. His name is, let me check, I think it's Diego, but he is from Ecuador, and he is going especially for Purvis Stupinian, and I got him a ticket, hopefully where Purvis will be playing, so he can take his Ecuadorian flag and hold it, and hopefully get Purvis Stupinian's shirt if he's in a good mood after the game. So shout out to him for going for it for his first Brighton game. I hope it's a good one for you.
Absolutely.
Mohammed in the chat is saying Nottingham Forest defend very deep, so goals won't be many. It's true. They will be hard to break down. They've been very hard to break down this season. They're third in the Premier League for a reason.
Yeah. I was going to say, you don't end up being third in the Premier League if you know. I know some teams have played badly in the past and still been in that part of the league, but you know they've been playing sensationally, and it just goes to show what can really happen. So can we just do a quick what's name on the new fan zone that opens tomorrow?
Yes, we can. We had the wonderful Stephen Edwards join us a couple of weeks ago on the podcast to talk to us
Mm.
about the new Terrace, which, as you say, Andrew, opens tomorrow. So get yourselves down there, get yourselves to Bites, I think is the restaurant which Stephen Edwards has put on
Yes, I think it
a
is. Yeah,
fantastic menu.
yeah.
The pricing is what it is. It's football pricing, unfortunately.
It,
Um,
it's
it's going to be quality food. That's what I
yeah.
know. It's gonna be quality food.
There's going to be quality food, and when you look at what they've built there, I haven't been inside it. My first time will be tomorrow, and it looks really, really special from the outside, and yeah, I just know they're going to get so much use out of it, out of the building, and it's just a fantastic addition for the club to have, and hopefully they can add other new parts to the stadium itself, and yeah, just everyone get down there to support them like we will be there ourselves.
Exactly. It feels like the club are putting in an effort to make it a place for the community as well, for it to be a hub for Brighton fans, especially like on away days if you can't get to the stadiums
Yeah.
and do the travelling that our wonderful Andrew does week in, week out for the club, that you can get there and you can watch. Like, for example, in a week's
Mm.
time, we're playing Crystal Palace. They're doing a beanbag at the Terrace, so you can watch it with like-minded Albion fans and throw your beers up in the air when Solly Martin scored the 98th minute winner against them. Just don't throw them near me because it's a autistic nightmare, and I will have a meltdown in the middle of the
You'll
Terrace.
fight them, Joe.
Don't do that. I will fight them. I will fight them heavily. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't fight a fly. Stop it. But yeah, I'm really excited to try all of the stuff at the Terrace as well. Stephen Edwards has been on the podcast 4 times and is a big friend of ours over here at Albion Obsessed. So please go and support him. Send all the feedback to the club as well. Make sure he gets all the good feedback because he does great stuff for the Tunnel Club and he's bringing it to an affordable place for affordable in football terms place for Albion fans to get their hands on very, very high quality food that you're not going to find anywhere else in the country. He is a Master Chef winner and he's making food for you. So pay for it. No. I mean, let's quickly touch on it's very quick turnaround curses. We've got to play Aston Villa in the bloody Premier League on Tuesday next week. Have you had time to mentally prepare for that one with this in the way? Like it's just coming thick and fast.
Yeah, as it does towards the end of the season. It's going to be an interesting 9 games, and potentially more if we get through the cup. But I'm just gonna strap myself in and enjoy the ride because I'm trying not to get too laden down with any stresses of it or whatever. But being a Brighton fan is very exciting at the moment. I think we should we need to enjoy it, because there are various clubs in quite bad situations like Reading, for instance, and yeah, by the way, please go and support Sell Before We Die on Twitter if you can.
Yeah, Curtis, can you tell us a little bit about that situation? We've been quite vocal on it on Blue Sky and social media. So
happily,
give us a little update on
that. So basically, Reading have 2 weeks to be sold, or the EFL will potentially be kicking them out of the Football League altogether because of an incompetent owner. So we just need to get behind them and their fan base and talk about it. Because this can never happen again. Because it's not as much as the club itself suffers. People don't tend to think about the fans, how people invest their whole lives into this. They grow up in it. So yeah, we just have to get behind them as football supporters as a whole, and we just need to be there for them. Yeah, it's a horrible situation, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks things could potentially be sorted. But it's just been a horrible roller coaster for them, and we send all our best to any Reading supporters out there that are going through it at the moment. So
yeah, Andrew. I mean, as a Brighton fan who lived through the terrible Golston moments, and with Belotti and Archer and stuff like that, and now seeing the heavy heights that we're punching at. I mean, that story clearly resonates with you as well, as someone that's been through that emotional turmoil. I'm a little bit too young to have really understood it, but yeah, Curtis says sometimes the fans get forgotten. What would the Reading fans be feeling at the moment?
I think when it comes to almost losing your football club, and you end up, and it becomes quite emotional as well, because at the end of the day, no football club should ever be in a position as Reading are at the moment. Brighton were in the same position with the Goldstone ground. That was sold from underneath the fans, feet. It was sold from underneath the players and, all the coaching staff that were there at the time. And it was all because of Belotti and Archer. They got the club into a bit of a mess. And the only way they could get out of it is obviously by selling the club. But not only that, they don't give the club anywhere else to go, and you're playing you're playing your games at Gillingham. And as much as that's, as much as that gives us a ground to play at, that's still a hell of a way to go and play your football matches, especially for home games. So we know exactly what it's like, and we know exactly how Reading are going to be feeling right now. And we totally wish them all the best with it. And, and by trying to highlight it and everything else, it will go a long way to, it won't make them feel any, all we can do is just highlight the situation. Yes, they have got poor ownership, and, it's exactly the same thing as we had. And, we ended up going from Gillingham to the Withdean, and, and thank goodness for Brighton, we actually had a chairman called Dick Knight that came in, saved the club, and took us from strength to strength. And then Tony Bloom's come in, and this club is just unbelievable. And I just really do hope that Reading can physically get themselves out of this situation, and the fans themselves who do get left behind because of it all, keep your chin up. And just keep getting behind your club like we did as Brighton fans, and then hopefully somebody will come in and try and take their club and take it in a different direction.
Yeah, exactly that. And we will ask Curtis to send me some links that I can put in the description of this video and on social media as well, to find out how you can go and support the Sell Before We Die movement that is happening over at Reading Football Club. I know it's very close to Curtis's heart and to Toby, Curtis's brother's heart, as a Reading fan. So I'm sure they would appreciate even one more supporter. So please go and support them. I guess that just leaves us to think about stuff and how far this club has come.
And bring on tomorrow.
Exactly. I think that's the perfect place to sign off and to say, everybody go out and enjoy it. We almost didn't have this. So, scream at the top of your lungs, fight for as long as the players on the pitch are fighting as well, and push them all the way.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we are one game away from another very, very special day at Wembley. So let's hope
we're in a special place, and with this and with the league, and we've got some big games coming up, and we've really just got to get behind them, push them all the way, get them over that line for what we really want as fans, and then just celebrate with them.
Yeah, exactly that. They talk about business end of the season. This is very much business end now. Michael's saying he can't wait. Neither can we. Brian saying, great stream, lads. Come on the Albion. Let's hope that, Brian, you're going to bed happy after a Brighton of Albion win.
Won't Brian know before us, won't he?
Yeah. Just send us the score,
let us
Brian.
know, mate. Let us know.
Cheers, mate.
But also, before we go, I feel like we need to say thank you to the viewers for constantly coming in and leaving comments and great questions and just supporting us, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you so much.
Brian saying you won't spoil it. Top man, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, exactly what Curtis said. I mean, without our subscribers who are approaching the 1,300 mark, which is just obscene. We would just be three blokes talking to the internet. But we really do appreciate you. We see numbers, but I know it's people, and that fills me with so much warmth. When I started this podcast back in 2021, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. Not a clue. Toby, unfortunately, couldn't carry on. Curtis came along, Chloe came along, Tom came along, Aaron came along, all our friends came along and pulled me out and made it what it is today. So I'm so thankful to them. I'm so thankful to the people that care about what we say. So thankful to the people that stop me at the Amex and surrounding areas and say that they love the podcast as well. Andrew is a long time subscriber and listener of the Albion Obsessed podcast. So please, if you do want to be on the Albion Obsessed podcast and speak to us like Andrew is today, message us, please. We love to get the fans' voice. We love to get the normal match going fan a chance to really have their say on why they love their club so much. So please come and do that. Yeah. But I guess that just remains for me to say, have a great game tomorrow. Don't sweat the small stuff. And we'll be back for another one. It doesn't stop. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Brighton and Albion content as we bring it to you. And wherever you may be, whenever you may be, we will see you next time. Have a good one. Cheers.